Many people often make fun of you when you're spiritual. They may not understand the depth of your spiritual journey or what it truly means to you. It's easy for others to laugh at what they don't understand, and sometimes people mock you just to feel more secure in their own beliefs. They dismiss your beliefs as nonsense or think they hold no value. It's disheartening when your faith or connection to the divine is seen as unimportant or foolish. Your spiritual beliefs are deeply personal, often becoming a source of strength, comfort, and guidance. But to someone on the outside, it may seem strange or unnecessary. They may not see how your spirituality helps you through tough times, gives you purpose, or offers a sense of peace that goes beyond what the material world can give. Those who dismiss it may not realize the profound wisdom, joy, and meaning it brings into your life. Spirituality is not about proving something to others. It's about your personal connection with the divine and the inner growth that follows. Here are 6 hacks that spiritual people use in their day-to-day lives that put them ahead of 90% of people. Take awareness, for instance. Most people stumble through life half asleep, lost in their routines and blinded by their goals. They operate on autopilot, never truly engaging with the present moment. They believe that the key to success lies solely in checking off the next task, reaching the next goal, or winning the next race. But this mechanical approach to life keeps them from noticing the details that could change everything. It's in the seemingly small, almost invisible moments that the real power lies. The way you chew your food, for instance, affects your digestion, which in turn impacts your energy throughout the day. The way you sit at your desk could be the difference between fatigue and sustained productivity. Spiritual people understand this. They know that to truly engage with life, you have to be present. Mindfulness, the act of truly paying attention, gives them an edge. It allows them to observe the subtle details that others miss. And how can you expect to change something if you're not even aware of it? Then, consider the power of positive affirmations. It's easy to mock the practice of repeating phrases like, "I am worthy," or "I am capable." It seems too simplistic, too optimistic in a world where negativity reigns supreme. But what people often fail to grasp is that your thoughts are the foundation of your reality. Negative thoughts, like persistent fears or worries, are not just fleeting inconveniences. They are powerful forces that shape your perception of the world and dictate your actions. Spiritual people aren't deluded by endless positivity. Instead, they use positive affirmations as a deliberate way to shift their focus. By repeating affirmations, they weaken the grip of negative thoughts, allowing them to dissipate like clouds after a storm. These affirmations become a tool to rewire their brains, to choose better, stronger thoughts over the ones that drag them down. And in a world where many are prisoners of their own minds, tormented by fears that will never materialize, this shift in thinking is a game changer. But what about detachment? Surely that's a concept that most people either laugh at or completely misunderstand. In a culture that prizes ambition, achievement, and attachment, the idea of letting go seems counterintuitive. After all, isn't holding on to goals, relationships, and possessions what drives success? Yet the opposite is often true. Detachment doesn't mean apathy or indifference. It means recognizing that clinging too tightly to anything, whether it's a job, a person, or an outcome, will only create suffering when things inevitably change. Life is in constant flux, and those who can adapt, who can release their grip on the past, or on what no longer serves them, are the ones who thrive. Spiritual people understand that life's losses are inevitable, but through detachment, they experience less pain, and they recover faster. While others are stuck mourning what's gone, they're already moving forward, reinventing themselves, and thriving in a world that demands constant change. Minimalism, too, is often mocked as a trend or an aesthetic choice, but for those who truly understand its spiritual essence, it's much more than that. We live in a society that equates success with accumulation of things, experiences, and achievements. But here's the truth. Everything you own owns a part of you. Every object, every relationship, every goal requires your energy and attention. Spiritual people recognize that there's a cost to this constant consumption, And the more clutter, whether physical or emotional, they carry, the more drained they become. That's why they embrace minimalism, not just as a design philosophy, but as a way of life. They strip away the non-essentials, allowing themselves to focus their attention on the few things that truly matter. This concentrated energy accelerates their growth, helping them achieve more with less effort. It's a truth that most people never realize. When you stop spreading yourself too thin, you gain the power to create something truly profound. Then there's the concept of happiness, a pursuit that the majority of people chase after like a hamster on a wheel, never realizing that the wheel itself is the problem. Most believe that happiness is something to be earned or achieved, that it exists in the next promotion, the next purchase, or the next vacation. But spiritual people know better. They understand that happiness isn't a destination. It's a guidepost. It's an emotion that signals alignment with one's true purpose. Steve Jobs famously asked himself each morning if he was happy doing what he did, knowing that happiness, in its truest form, points you in the right direction. It's not the goal, but rather the compass. By following this inner GPS, spiritual people don't get lost in the endless pursuit of external validation. Instead, they focus on what makes them uniquely happy, which in turn leads to authentic success. Success that doesn't rely on competing with others, but rather on becoming more of who they truly are. And finally, there's faith. Perhaps no spiritual principle is more misunderstood than this. To many, faith is a quaint concept, something reserved for the religious or the naive. But spiritual people know that faith is, in fact, one of the most powerful forces in the universe. Faith isn't about blindly believing in something outside of yourself. It's about believing in yourself and your ability to shape your reality. You are, ultimately, what you believe you are. If you don't believe in something, it will never come to pass, because you won't allow yourself to see it as possible. Faith is the cornerstone of manifestation. It's the belief that you deserve what you desire, and that belief is what draws it into your life. Spiritual people act as if their goals are already theirs, and in doing so, they align their perception with their desired outcome. The world we live in is filtered through our perception, and faith is what transforms that perception. Without it, success is impossible, because no one can invest the time and energy needed to achieve a goal unless they first believe in it. Faith, therefore, becomes the fuel for everything. In the end, what most people fail to recognize is that spiritual practices are not only valid, but incredibly effective. They are tools for mastering the mind, the body, and the soul, and those who employ them are not living in some unrealistic fantasy. They are living in alignment with the deeper truths of life, operating with a level of awareness, presence, and power that many never reach. While the world may laugh at these practices, dismissing them as irrelevant or naive, those who engage with them know that they are, in fact, far ahead of the curve, leaving the rest of the world to wonder how they manage to move through life. I hope you enjoyed watching my video. If you're still with me, please leave a comment on what you learned or what you would like to add. I would appreciate it. As always, wishing you a beautiful day.